If one man's wealth climbs to $1 trillion, while millions of workers can't afford the basics, unrest is not a possibility, it's inevitable. I want to pause for just a moment to sincerely thank everyone who chose to subscribe. Your support isn't something I take for granted. Truly, from my heart to yours, thank you. And if you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe and be part of this growing community. May 2025, a new pope, Leo XIV, gives his very first media interview, and instead of scripture, he talks about something deeply concerning: Elon Musk's trillion-dollar pay package. And he warns, we're in big trouble. But Musk is not just earning big money. He's on a path that could make him the world's first trillionaire, thanks to Tesla's stock buyback plan and a historic compensation deal. Then the question hits hard. What does this mean for the average worker? The people whose wages are shrinking in real terms, while executive pay rockets into the stratosphere. And what does this widening gap say about the future of work, fairness, and society itself? Pope Leo XIV, the first U.S.-born pontiff, was elected in May 2025. In his first media appearance, he did what few popes dare. He criticized corporate excess. He singled out Elon Musk's proposed trillion-dollar payout. Tied to Tesla's $8.5 trillion valuation target and fueled by an aggressive stock buyback program, it could crown Musk as history's first trillionaire. Pope Leo didn't hold back. He said, if that is the only thing that has value anymore, then we're in big trouble. And he's not alone. Economists say executive pay has ballooned to 600 times the average worker's salary. But back in the 1960s, it was just 20 times. Then you begin to see the shift. Workers' labor has grown cheaper, while the wealth at the top has exploded beyond imagination. Here's the truth. Wages for ordinary workers are stagnant. A paycheck that once covered a family's needs now barely stretches to rent, food, and gas. And inflation is making life harder, not easier. But as Musk prepares for trillionaire status, many workers are juggling 2 or 3 jobs, living paycheck to paycheck. Then the irony deepens. While Tesla rewards investors and executives with stock buybacks, the same workers who assemble the cars or manage the logistics often don't see a meaningful raise. It's not just about money, it's about dignity. A worker's sense of worth is being eroded, while extreme wealth is celebrated as the ultimate badge of success. Elon Musk's trillion-dollar path is not a fantasy, it's mathematics. Tesla plans massive stock buybacks. That means Tesla uses profits to buy its own shares, shrinking supply, raising prices, and supercharging Musk's compensation package. And the result? His net worth surges, potentially past the $1 trillion mark. But those same profits could be used for worker raises, R&D, or reducing consumer prices. Then the question becomes unavoidable. Do stock buybacks create real value, or do they simply funnel wealth upward? It's the ultimate irony. The harder workers push, the less they gain. The higher stock prices climb, the further out of reach financial security becomes. And Pope Leo XIV's warning echoes here. When wealth itself is the only measure of success, society loses sight of what truly matters. But remember, workers are the backbone. They build the Teslas. They drive the innovation. They keep the lights on. Then sidelining them isn't just unfair. It's dangerous. It fractures trust. It fuels resentment. It risks tearing society apart. This story isn't about envy. It's about survival. Workers' wages are flat while costs climb. Families struggle to save. Young people feel locked out of homeownership. And yet Musk's trillionaire payday looms as a symbol of imbalance. But Pope Leo XIV's words remind us this isn't just about one billionaire. It's about what we value as a society. Then the bigger picture emerges. If we reward only the top, we risk hollowing out the middle and crushing the bottom. So what do we do? Governments could impose limits and transparency on executive pay. Companies could reinvest in wages, training, and benefits instead of buybacks. Workers could organize, vote, and push for accountability. And society could redefine success, not by individual fortune, but by shared prosperity. And if nothing changes, the gap keeps growing, the instability deepens, the resentment explodes. But if Musk's trillionaire pathway becomes the spark that wakes us up, maybe it forces a rethink of what an economy should be. Then perhaps we can still write a different future, one that values both innovation and the people who make it possible. This isn't the first time inequality pushed society to the breaking point. And history warns us what happens when the gap between the powerful and the powerless becomes unbearable. In 18th century France, nobles and clergy lived in luxury while the masses starved. Bread prices soared, wages stagnated, the anger boiled over. But when the people finally lost faith and a system rigged against them, the streets erupted in revolution. Then the warning for us today is unmistakable. If one man's wealth climbs to $1 trillion while millions of workers can't afford the basics, unrest is not a possibility, it's inevitable. The form may differ: strikes, protests, political upheaval, but the lesson is the same. Ignore the suffering of the many, and society itself begins to crack. Pope Leo XIV said it simply: if this is all that has value, then we're in big trouble. He wasn't condemning success. He was calling for balance. The French Revolution reminds us that when inequality grows unchecked, the response isn't polite debate, it's upheaval. So here's the choice. Do we measure progress by the rise of one trillionaire, or by the dignity and security of millions of workers? Then the answer will define not just the future of work, but the very stability of society itself. If you found this inspiring or thought-provoking, please hit that subscribe button and comment below.